When you see how these DJI drones freely weave their way through the branches, you might assume that there must be something inside, like cars parking radar. But if you take apart a DJI Air 3, you will find there's no radar or LiDAR inside. So how does a DJI drone detect obstacles? What I found is far more interesting. DJI drones avoid obstacles in a way that's surprisingly similar to humans. Take DJI Air 3 as an example, and you'll see these tiny cameras positioned all around the aircraft. These are its eyes. The Air 3 uses an omnidirectional stereo vision system with multiple stereo cameras positioned around the front, rear, and the bottom of the drone. So the core obstacle avoidance system is actually very clear. DJI uses cameras to see the world. But that's exactly where the problem begins. Why choose cameras when measuring distance with sensors directly seems so much easier? DJI actually explained this decision publicly back in 2017. The problem with traditional sensors like radar is that they give you very limited information. They're basically like a car's parking sensors. They can tell you something is there and roughly how far away it is. But they don't tell you how large the obstacle is or how far it extends. For a high-speed drone, simply knowing something is ahead is not enough. It needs to understand the three-dimensional space around that obstacle. And that's where cameras have a major advantage. A camera may not directly tell the drone that object is 5 meters away, but it captures a huge amount of information about the entire scene at once. So why not just use LiDAR, which is far more capable of directly measuring distance? Technically, LiDAR can absolutely do the job. But at that time, there was another problem. It was expensive. Early LiDAR systems could cost more than the drone itself. And for a consumer drone, an expensive LiDAR sensor simply wasn't an attractive trade-off. So DJI chose a harder but much more affordable solution. Use lightweight cameras to capture 2D images, then use algorithms to turn those images into 3D space. And that creates the biggest question for this video. 2 cameras, 2 flat images, no direct distance measurement. How does DJI turn those 2 images into a 3D world? I dug through one of DJI's patents and finally found the answer. At its core, the system relies on the classic principle, triangulation. Look at the same object from 2 different positions, and it appears at slightly different positions in the 2 images. That shift is called disparity. And the basic equation is surprisingly simple. The distance to the object depends on 3 things: the camera's focal length, the baseline between the 2 cameras, and the disparity between the 2 images. The interesting part is that you can test it by yourself. Hold your thumb in front of your face. Close your left eye, then your right. Your thumb appears to jump. The closer it is, the bigger the jump. That jump is exactly what disparity looks like. But if you try this a few more times, you will notice something. If the object is too far away, the disparity becomes tiny, sometimes too small to measure reliably. This will become a serious safety problem for a drone flying at high speed. And here's how DJI gets around it. When stereo disparity becomes unreliable, the system can use the drone's own movement to create additional disparity. Normally, you have 2 eyes looking from 2 positions. Now imagine one eye moving with the drone, then looking again. The distance the drone travels becomes a new baseline. In other words, DJI can use the act of flying itself to create a larger baseline and extract additional depth information. But knowing the formula isn't enough. The 2 images don't contain distance directly. DJI first has to find the same point in both images and measure the shift between them. This entire process is called stereo matching. So how do you find the same point in 2 images? You can't just compare everything to everything. The drone doesn't have unlimited computing power. DJI's first trick is to make the search dramatically smaller. The 2 cameras are physically separated, so the same object may appear at slightly different vertical positions. DJI first rectifies the images, essentially aligning them so that corresponding points fall on the same horizontal line. Now the system doesn't have to search the entire image. It only has to search along one line. But even along one line, the system still has to figure out which part actually matches. And this is where the real matching begins. Imagine taking a tiny patch of a tree leaf, a building edge, or any other distinctive texture. The system slides that patch along the corresponding line in the other image. Wherever it looks most similar, that's the most likely match. But what if the scene doesn't have much texture? Imagine a completely blank white wall. Almost every location looks the same. Now, the system could get multiple good matches, even when most of them are wrong. So it needs another layer of protection, the geometry of the real world. depth usually changes smoothly across neighboring regions. It's extremely unlikely that one area is 5 meters away, while the area right next to it suddenly jumps to 50 meters away. If that happens, the match is probably wrong. Mathematically, the system uses an energy function, basically a score for how good each possible solution is. It rewards strong image matches while penalizing depth that doesn't make physical sense. But there's one thing camera can't overcome: physics. No matter how smart the algorithm gets, a camera is still a camera. According to DJI's official manuals, the vision system can become unreliable in extremely dark or bright conditions, over water or snow, and around small or transparent obstacles. And it comes down to what the camera can actually see. No reliable light, no reliable image. And without enough texture, there's nothing for stereo matching to lock onto. That's a fundamental limitation of vision. It can only work with the information the environment gives it. And this becomes essentially important in high-risk industrial applications like power line inspection and night operations. In those environments, relying on cameras alone is clearly not enough. So DJI started adding other sensors. LiDAR and the millimeter wave radar began working alongside the vision system. Take DJI's flagship industrial drone, the Matrix 400. It combines rotating LiDAR with a 6-direction millimeter wave radar, giving the drone sensing capability that don't depend entirely on vision, texture, and lighting. And that leads to a very important point. Vision isn't always the best sensor. It's simply the best sensor when the environment gives it enough information to work with. When the vision hits its physical limits, DJI needs to give its eyes another way to sense the world. But the story doesn't end here, with adding more sensors. Remember why DJI chose cameras in the first place? LiDAR was simply too expensive. But that equation is changing. As the LiDAR gets cheaper, it's starting to find its way back into consumer drones. And this time, it doesn't have to replace vision. Vision handles the everyday world. LiDAR fills in the gap where vision struggles. But LiDAR isn't what really changes the game. The artificial intelligence is. Because DJI's eyes are no longer just being asked to see, they are being asked to understand. In the past, stereo vision mainly answered one question: how far away is that object? Now the system can go one step further. What exactly is that object? And how should I get around it? So the drone will be no longer just measuring distance. It's moving from building a 3D map to understanding what's inside it. And that changes what the sensing system is actually doing. Vision sees, LiDAR fills in the gaps. AI interprets what they see. So the next time you watch a DJI drone precisely dodge a tree branch, navigate through a complex environment, or fly safely at night, it isn't simply detecting obstacles. It's using cameras, LiDAR, and the AI to build and understand a 3D world of its own. Thanks for watching this video. 2 more hand-picked videos on the screen. I'm Justin. Please subscribe and turn on the bell. And I will see you guys in the next one.